Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm meadsyreplays. Welcome back to another video. And this Battle Pass, November Battle Pass, we see a Czech tank. Yes, it is the Blaze. Basically a Skoda T25, but much better. DPM is 100 more than the Skoda T25. The looks is exactly the same. Wargaming haven't used sort of two tanks to put into one. They've literally just copied the Skoda T25 and made it better. It has the same penetration, same alpha. However, the rate of fire is slightly more because the reload is exactly the same, but what's different is the intra-clip only is 1 second between each shell, whereas the Skoda T25 is 1.5 seconds. So yeah, that half a second makes all the difference. So not bad. Also, the aim time is better and the gun dispersion is better as well. I thought maybe it would, to gain all this, it would lose something. Where the only thing it really loses is the power to rate ratio. The speed is exactly the same. The armor is exactly the same. So looking at the stat wise, it's just a much better Skoda T25. If just one thing was different, like the aim time, then yeah, it won't really be too much difference. But when you've got a better DPM, better shell, the burst, better intra-clip reload, better aim time, better dispersion, yeah, it does make a much better tank. Looks good. It does looks like they are still carrying on with the Titan looks as well. It looks quite nice, to be honest. When I first played it, I thought it doesn't really perform that well. I don't really like the turret on these tanks. They are flat, they're big, and they are just easy to penetrate. The speed is very good. And as I said, I really like the intra-clip reload. The 1 second intra-clip reload does make all the difference, especially when you are aiming at the tanks and you can just quickly get your 3 shells out into these things. There's one, and we're going to get the second one, and now we're just going to hide. Now you're looking at just over a 13-second reload for your whole magazine. Not too bad, to be honest. It does go pretty quick, to be honest, especially when you're used to playing auto loaders in sort of tier 9, tier 10, tier 8 that are sort of 20 odd seconds. So it does feel just a little bit better, but you have to remember you are only in tier 6. Again, is it worth it? Of course it's worth it. I mean, I always say it, that with the battle passes, you're only paying $5, £5, €5. If you use things like the App Gallery or Amazon, you're also getting it the battle pass a little bit cheaper. I think with App Gallery, it's like £3. So you're paying like £3 for everything that you get in the battle pass, including this tank and including the tank that you get at the start, the tier 4 tank. So yeah, definitely worth purchasing if you do have a little bit of spare change. The tank overall, I think is okay. I think it's a good tank. I do manage to carry in. I did manage to carry in some of my games, but we're going to just have a look at the next game after this, which I think was a pretty solid game, and we're going to go through what I was doing and why I was doing what I was doing. We are playing Supremacy. In this game, I mean, we are losing on Supremacy points, but we are recapturing base A. We've got the ARL, that is a one-shot, and so it's a 6 versus 3, so I'm not too scared at the moment, especially as we just managed to take out one tank, and now we are winning. And this guy is just going to get deleted. Don't know where that shot went, but it doesn't matter at all. So we do manage to pick up 2k damage there, and of course we do manage to get the win. As I said, the tank itself doesn't have much armor whatsoever, but if you do like the Skoda T25, then of course you will like this tank, because it's just a better version. So here we're going to talk about the game. So we've gone the right side. Now I'm not pushing up because I know that the mediums, the enemies have 3 mediums, so I really don't want to push up. I'm looking at the mini map, and I do see some of my guys behind me. So this VK30 has pushed forward, and I am able to take all 3 of my shells into him, doing only what, 4, 8, 9. Not too bad, I suppose. Could have been a little bit higher, but I'm not looking at running away because this guy's now a one shot. The VK30 is coming up, but I do want to pay attention behind me because there is going to be the Panther coming around, well, the Poodle coming around, but I do see that I've still got a medium tank there, and I still have a TD tank behind me covering, so I'm happy here. It's a good position. I'm not looking at running away. You can see me being using the awareness, and that's what makes a good player. The awareness is key in some of these games. You have to know what's around you, whether it'll be good to stay, whether you need to run away. But I'm in a good position at the moment. No one's really focusing me. This guy, I don't know what this guy is doing. Like, he's kind of useless, to be honest. We bring him down to a one shot, and again, as soon as I've shot all three of my shells, I'm looking around to see how dangerous I am, if I'm happy here, or if I need to go forward and potentially take one shot from this VK. The Poodle does take out our Poodle, which means that is one tank behind me less covering me. But now we managed to take that guy out. It is a 4 versus 5, but I'm looking around and I already can see that there is 3 one-shots. So we are losing on supremacy points. I'm not looking at capping A, because I just think at the moment, when it's like this, when there's so many one-shots, that is just a little bit of time consuming. And I think that the time that I spend capping that base is the time I could get around the map and take care of these one-shots, which for me will be more important than taking care of this cap. We do at least have 1 cap, whilst the enemy also have 1 cap. So if we can get rid of 2 of these guys that are one-shots, then we will be winning on supremacy points. But at the moment, it is now a 4 versus 5. We do have a couple of one-shots as well, and the nearest tank to me is this Poodle, so I have to take care of him first. I was thinking about ignoring him and going for the one-shots, but seeing how, as he is isolated, I need to really go for him first. And he's not really in a too bad position. He hasn't got no backup whatsoever, and because of that position, I'm able to get them shots down into him and then just back up under so he can't shoot me. But it is now a 2 versus 5. 2 versus 5. Actually, it was a 2 versus 6. But now there is quite a few one-shots. Very stupid team, says the Tiger One. Now, I do take a shot there, but now I can just reload. I bounce the second shot, and I really want to make that third shot penetrate, so I do switch to the APCR. Now, I do get very lucky with a medal in this game. Very, very lucky. Not quite sure how I get the medal, but at the moment, it is a 2 versus 4, and you already can see there, like, 2 is a one-shot over the right side, and the 45 TP is a one-shot here also. Again, I do take a shot, but I wanted to make sure I penetrate. Now, the Tiger takes care of our KV-1S, but our KV-1S takes care of the SU-100Y at the same time. But because he killed him after he died, theoretically, or I am not actually alone, or I was alone against 3 tanks. And of course, when you win against 3 tanks, you get a Kolobanov medal. Yeah, I was quite sick. I know I was alone against 2 tanks, but because that happened so fast, now I just want to push towards these guys very quickly. I do take a shot from this VK, but I do manage to take him out. Now, the enemy do have two supremacy bases, but I do manage to get this these magazines or these shots out on that Tiger One. I'm going to back up, because if he did push me when he did, he would be able to take a shot and probably another shot before I'm reloaded. But just as I reload, I do poke forward and I do manage to take him out. So I think that was overall a good game on my behalf. The awareness that I used, going for the right tanks, and we do manage to pick up the ace, and we do manage to pick up that Kolobanov medal as well. Yeah, very lucky Kolobanov medal. But nice tank in general. I don't think people will perform well in it. It is one of those tanks. It's an average tank, not the best tanks, but it still performs. But it's not the worst either. So I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. I'm meadsy69, and I'll catch you all later. Bye bye.